everyone, this is the Google Pixel 6a and today we're going to be doing a day of photography to test out and review the camera capabilities of this phone for both photo and video. We are in Gdańsk, Poland today, so let's go and start. I want to start off by testing out the ultra-wide rear camera, and I've got a really cool spot here. We've got some colors from the leaves, we've got a little bit of backlight sunshine and the color from the building as well. So I'm going to zoom it out to ultra-wide and take a couple of test shots. We have a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera on the back of the Pixel 6a. It has an aperture of f2.2 and has a 114-degree field of view. I love the look of the ultra-wide lens. It's a really great focal length to capture photos of cities like this. The colors, in my opinion, are very rich and true to life. We also have plenty of dynamic range in the photos, whether I'm shooting with backlight or when the subject is directly lit. You can see all the colors in the foreground and the colors in the sky at the same time. I love how colorful Gdańsk is, so we're going to have lots of colors to look at in all the example photos today. I noticed when taking portraits on the ultra-wide camera that it does sometimes keep focus on the background rather than the subject. So you can see in some of these further away portraits that the background is sharper than Olivia. The ultra-wide lens definitely shines the most when taking photos of landscapes. I love the ultra-wide photos that we got so far, so now we're going to test out the wide camera, which is the standard lens. So we're going to head to point 1, and I've got a really beautiful spot here with some nice shrubbery, buildings, and some backlight as well. The main camera of this phone is a 12.2 megapixel dual pixel wide camera, which has an aperture of f1.7 and a 77-degree field of view. By the way, I am shooting both RAW and JPEG at the same time for this entire photo shoot. I've always liked that Pixel cameras can do that. While I can't burst shoot since I am shooting in RAW and JPEG, plus I am screen recording the phone, I still felt like the 6a was able to keep up with my pace of shooting. I would say it can take about 1 photo per second in this mode, and it will probably be faster if you're not screen recording like me. I think this is great performance for a more affordable phone. Maybe if you stand on this side, you can kind of lean like this. So I have a really cool spot that I like here. So I'm going to take a photo with each of the lenses with both myself and Olivia standing in the same spot. So I'm going to start with the wide angle lens here, and then I'm going to move into the standard lens, the wide lens, and then take a shot on 2 times. I really like the 1x wide camera of the Pixel 6a. I think it's a pretty impressive camera. I made sure to take photos in lots of different lighting scenarios and of different subjects, and I found that the vibrant colors and high dynamic range was consistent regardless of what I was taking a photo of. So I also want to take some cityscape photos with the standard camera as well. So we're just going to walk around the streets here, and I'm going to take a couple of shots of some of the buildings and the people and just the things that I see along the way. If you are going to be taking photos of something where you're going to be zooming in to see the details or blowing up the photo to print, for example, I would recommend to shoot in RAW plus JPEG. The AI processing of the JPEG files can vary a little bit here and there, but I found that the RAW files were consistently clear. It's great to see that Google is offering a smaller phone size compared to the flagship 6 Pro while still including impressive camera capabilities. I also love that the camera doesn't have a big bump anymore compared to the 6 Pro, so it looks a lot flatter. We also have up to 7x zoom with the standard camera, so I'm going to take a photo of this clock tower just behind me all the way from ultra wide to 7x zoom. So let's start with ultra wide, and then we've got 1x. The rear wide camera makes use of optical and electronic image stabilization, which, as you can see, when I reach 7x zoom, actually does a good job of keeping the image steady to make it easier to frame your shot. I think the ultra wide and wide lens are the clearest and look the best. From 2x onwards, the 6a makes use of digital zoom since it doesn't have a dedicated portrait lens like the 6 Pro. 2 and 3x zoom still have enough clarity to see the numbers and the bricks, but from 4x zoom onwards, it does start to lose clarity. I have this beautiful spot here with all these flowers in the background and some construction work, and we're going to be testing out the portrait camera. So I'm going to be taking some really pretty close-up photos here. I personally prefer the 1x zoom portrait mode. In 2x zoom, I think the image loses a bit of clarity. Again, it's because we don't have a separate portrait camera, so the 6A makes use of digital zoom. In saying that, the bokeh portrait mode creates is really beautiful. So I also want to try out the selfie camera of the Pixel 6a. This has a fixed focus front camera. So the first shot I'm going to take is with 1x, which is the widest the front camera goes, and we'll also take one at 1.4x zoom. We can also use portrait mode with the selfie camera too, so I'm going to take 2 example photos to show you that as well. I also want to try out selfie video. With selfie video, we only have 1080p, there is no 4K option, so I'm just going to show it as a picture-in-picture in this video. I have speech enhancement turned on at the moment, and I'm also going to walk around so we can check out the stabilization of the video too. It is quite noisy here. There is a bit of a breeze, so the trees are making a lot of noise. There's someone playing guitar in the background, and there's quite a few people talking as well, so we'll see if you can hear all of that in this video. And one quick example, this is with speech enhancement switched off. We still have the guitar playing in the background. And this is with speech enhancement on. We also have a car driving past right now, so I wonder if you can hear the car at all while I'm talking, and the guitar is still playing in the background. Something I also noticed when I switched to selfie video mode is that it does induce quite a large crop on the video file as well. I'm assuming so it can make use of image stabilization. So I just want to show you a comparison. This is the 1x camera selfie mode, and this is the 1x video camera selfie mode. So you can see what a large crop it creates to the image here. So I've just switched image stabilization off in video mode. So now you can see that the selfie 1x camera in photo and video mode looks the same when I'm switching from one to the other. So this is video with stabilization turned off. So I'm going to do a little walking shot so we can see what that looks like, and I'll put it side by side with stabilization switched on. Before we do some night sight photography, let's talk about video. With the Rear camera, we have the option of filming in 30 or 60 FPS in 4K and 1080p. The camera in video mode makes use of optical image stabilization and fused video stabilization. From the previous selfie camera examples and all these handhold shots that I'm sharing with you now, the stabilization of video is absolutely amazing. It looks really smooth while I'm walking, panning the camera, or have the camera zoomed in. It's just extremely stable, and it looks like I have the phone on a tripod when I'm actually just hand holding it. The only negative for me is that in selfie mode, the stabilization induces too much of a crop, so you can see the over sharpening of the footage, but on the Rear camera, I think it looks great. If you keep an eye on Olivia's dark shirt and the black cars in the background, you can see a bit of noise in those areas, but overall and in general, I like the sharpness, colors, and quality of video with the Rear camera. You can choose between 2 video formats, H.265 or H.264, and for all these examples, I'm using H.265. We also have up to 5x digital zoom available in video mode. Just like photo, I think up to 2x digital zoom in video looks good. Here's an example of filming in ultra wide, and then with the wide lens, and finally in 2x zoom. And here's an example of what it looks like up to 5x zoom. Just like photo, it does lose clarity the more you zoom in. I also captured some standard stabilization video panning on a landscape, and then captured the same shot again, but using cinematic pen instead, so you can see and compare the footage side by side. And finally, I have some slow-mo examples for you as well. So I know it's going to look a lot brighter on this camera, but it is currently blue hour, so the sun has set like 15 minutes ago, and Dan and I are going to take some night sight portraits of each other, and then hopefully do some astrophotography afterwards as well. And we also have Enyo, the dog, keeping us company while we take photos here. I don't think it was dark enough for night sight to really do its thing, but here are some photos I took between 9:30 and 10 p.m. in Poland. We still have nice and vibrant colors with night sight, and I also like how night sight creates a little more dynamic range in the sky compared to using the standard camera on the same landscape. The night sight photos look more blue, so you can edit it depending on the look that you're after. We did also manage to capture some astrophotography shots. You can't see the Milky Way from where we are since the night doesn't really get dark enough during this time of year, but I think the quality of astrophotography mode is great. Even the JPEG straight out of the phone looks amazing, but of course you are always going to have more detail and information to work with if you shoot in RAW. So here's a little before and after of what I was able to create. So that is all I have for today's review of the Google Pixel 6a camera. Let me know what you think of the camera and the photos and of my review down in the comments below. I thought it would be fun to make this review a little bit different since I'm in a different location. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I make new videos every single week, so I will see you all next time. Bye!